Boxing King Media in association with Boxer. Delighted to have with me Kalle at Sauerland. Kalle, you know what? When the press conference started, I thought you might take the first mic, introduce the fighters, and one fighter would talk, then the other fighter would talk, but it was just manic.
Yeah, I like to leave that to what I call the experts, moderators. I'm happy to play the second fiddle, but Addy's so fantastic at doing it. Look, it was just great sitting up there after a lot of hard work, and obviously having these four massive figures in that world all up there, plus John Fury on top as well, the icing on the cake. But at the end of the day, it's massive entertainment space. I said before, quote me on it, and quote me afterwards as well on it. This will do bigger numbers than any other pay-per-view event in the UK.
I mean, we know it was going to be crazy today with Dylan Dennis and Logan Paul and the history and what they've been saying to each other online. Did you expect it to be like that?
I was braced for more, and actually even worse. If you look at some of the things that have been going around, it's something that it's very personal. Can't be any labelling of this is fake, that's fake. There certainly ain't fake, that build-up. So yeah, that was wild. Obviously a lot of distasteful crap in there as well. So that, I think we got out okay. John Fury flipping a table, didn't see that coming. But I think
it's happened twice to you now.
Yeah, it's exactly. I was saying before, it's like my claim to fame now is I've had two tables thrown at me at press conferences, one by John Fury and one by Derek Chisora back in the day against Dillian Whyte. So, been there, done that twice. Can tell the grandkids that. But yeah, I think he just sort of got fed up with, he's an old, he's not an old man, but he's from an old fighting generation. So when he's sitting there and he's got these young guys, having a go at each other, he probably thinks, sod this, let's settle it like men, and he's gotten a bit mad, read into what you will.
Kalle, for someone in your position, is it difficult to kind of control this, because this is a different audience, this is a younger audience watching these type of events? We saw today there's a lot of children here, summer holidays, and some of the language and some of the things. Do you have to be extra mindful? All right, Derek Chisora, Dylan Whyte, professional boxing, it might be a little bit different, you get away with it, but is there more pressure on you to kind of control that?
They're individuals who are based on a lot of followers who come out of this space, so they do what they do online, they do just at an event. So I can't really change the way they've built up their following. It'd be like me telling a rap band to pipe down the language at a concert. It wouldn't really go very far. This is what you see is what you get. Yeah, and that's what it is. We can only look to make it as safe as possible. And today we had staged, although the bottles were going around, those were empty bottles, by the way. There was no missiles available on the stage, although a few name tags got thrown. I don't know if we glue those down in future. Maybe we look at bolting down the tables as well. Might be an idea. But we had 26 security up there, and I think they handled it very well.
John Fury, at the end, like you said, kicked off with the tables, but also was restrained by security going after KSI after that face-off. What was said and what kind of really triggered him?
I think the trigger you saw. Okay, the trigger at the face-to-face was obviously the push. At the press conference, I think it was he was sitting up there listening to first Dylan, then Logan, then obviously Tommy, and then KSI, and I think he was more like, come on, let's get a fight on here. Let's instead of talking. I think that was a bit of that, But you'd have to ask John.
Moving on now, you said at the beginning of the press that this will be the biggest pay-per-view event that this country has ever had, and you compared it to boxing.
Any other pay-per-view.
We want to see a face-off eventually down the line when it comes to fight week. I'm sure you're not going to avoid that, but you're going to make certain provisions to make sure it's safe.
Yeah, I mean, just off camera, actually, you can see there was a fence ready to be brought on the stage between Logan and Dennis, which was the face-off that we targeted as the highest risk. So we were actually going to bring in a fence, which has been done before. David Haye, Derek Chisora, I remember that. So a similar sort of setup. Yeah, we've had also actually just off scene as well. We had Riot Shields, We had everything ready.
Just finally, I'll end on this. Let's go back to real boxing. Your man next week tries to avenge that loss, Chris Eubank Jr. to Liam Smith. I believe he's in the UK now, in Manchester, training. Can he do it?
I call it traditional boxing, not real boxing, because this is also very real. 10-ounce gloves, you know, they do hurt.
Real fighting. We call this real fighting.
Let's call it traditional boxing. Traditional boxing, yeah. So, look, we've got 2 very big events next week. We got Channel 5, Lyndon Arthur, IBO Light Heavyweight World Championship on the Friday, and then on Saturday night, it's Revenge or Revenge. Absolutely, can he do it? He's in super shape. He's not left a stone unturned this time in training. You know, for me, it's going to be revenge.
Kalle, we'll see you next week, Fight Week. Thank you for speaking to Boxing King Media.